Yo, what's up, guys? It's Dom, and you're tuning in to Talk So Dom, where we touch on the series of topics that dives into the creator within. Over time, the goal is to help each and every one of you partaking in this transformation to better understand who and where you are on your journey. So let's chop it up. Right, so we're going on to point 15, right? The laws you never question. The laws you never question, sorry about that. It says, every person lives by an internal set of laws, right? I feel like this is more based off a short that I did a couple weeks back. And basically just talking about the laws that govern your life, right? As you're walking around and you're just going through life just on the day-to-day and stuff. You see like everybody just in their own path, just living their own life, right? You start to see how certain people live by certain laws, right? Certain people that are at different points in their lives have certain laws set to their lives, right? I feel like as you get to know certain people, or as you bump elbows with certain people, you start to see certain laws that people live by. As you get to better, as you better like getting to know someone. Let me say this right. as you get to know someone better, right? You start to see the laws that were set upon their lives, basically like the laws that govern their life, right? I feel like that the big question is, were those laws set and governed by you, or were those laws set and governed by people that you were around, right? By the expectations of other people, right? I feel like that a lot of my videos are based off of understanding your surroundings and awareness of who you are as a person, because on a day-to-day, the way that you create, right, we're inspired by a lot of things that surround us, right? But at the end of the day, are you truly creating because of outsources, or are you creating because things that are coming from within, right? Coming from within and being basically formed and pushed out, right, from you. So we look upon that to know that if all of these things come from different sources, right, and we're basically motivated by like a bunch of people or like a bunch of things that surround us, at some point it's like a limit to that. So being able to go about your day, get inspired by certain things, but to also understand that it's certain ideas that's in your mind too, that's been festering in your mind, that you've been plotting on for some time to try out, or just to piece together, right? Being able to piece together your own creativity and your own piece of the creator within you over time, right? The person that governs that, right, is the person that's going to be seen, is the person that's going to be looked at, right? That's the person that people are going to see on a day-to-day, right? Just as you, like, if you set laws for yourself that, hey, like, I can't stop until I get this done. Like, I have to be on the hustle. I have to be on, I gotta just be up and at it. I always gotta be doing something. If that's the law that's set for you, that's the law that's going to be seen by other people. Not in the sense of them understanding that that's a law for you, but that's the way that people are going to perceive it. Really are going to see, okay, that's what you do. That's just the way you think. That's the way you move, right? It's a certain behavior. I feel like human behavior and stuff, and as we're going out like into the world, and so being able to pay attention and be aware of how people, of what kind of laws are set for people, you start to see, okay, that makes sense. Like these kind of laws are set for that person, like for the person that's continuously growing and seeing things that they need to get better at and growing. And then you got people that are living life on a day-to-day, right, that are doing the same thing, but you see them skyrocketing, going, right? You start to understand, okay, like these kind of laws are set for that person, right? Because it's just more of like the limits are different, right? So it's just certain limiting laws that are to the person that's trying to skyrocket versus the person that's trying to get to that next level but keep on hitting brick walls. You start to see what kind of laws that person lives by or whose laws that person lives by, right? Not to be into any kind of like comparison though from a person that's on one level versus the person that's on the next, but really just in the sense of just understanding, right, how laws work, right, how laws are really set in place for people. You have things as if like success requires suffering. I have to prove myself, right? Money changes people. I can't rest until I earn it, right? Just like I had said before, right? These things would be things that you would say, well, these are kind of like everyday things. Like people always think things like these, right? These are kind of like, these are laws that people set for themselves, right? Most of these laws were never consciously chosen. They were absorbed. Becoming sometimes isn't about adding something new. It's about putting your old laws on trial, right? So once you start to see that you have certain limiting laws within yourself, right? You start to kind of see, like, am I the person that's hitting this brick wall from myself being able to skyrocket, or am I the person that's learning and growing every day, learning and growing and skyrocketing, right? Either or, though, right? You start to understand, like, okay, I have to be aware of the kind of laws that I set for myself, and first and foremost are those laws that I set for myself, right? Are those laws that I govern around my whole life, right? Or are those laws, or did those laws come from an outsource, right? Did those laws get set upon me, right? Maybe good or bad, right? Like rather good laws or bad laws, but to understand where those laws came from is a good identification for yourself, right? For the creator within. Being able to know, and then once you get to that point and you understand, okay, these laws came from here, are these laws something that I can actually use within my own life? If not, then it's time to rearrange that. It's time to swap out, right? Gain some new laws for yourself, be able to plug in ones that work for your circumstances and for your life and where you're headed and where you see yourself going and where the creator within inside you is basically leading you. Right? So it's just more of like these laws on a day-to-day, they may change though as you're getting better, as you're changing, as like the environment around you is changing, right? These things don't always have to stay the same, right? Being able to know that the law of being like, hey, like an early start is always going to be the law for myself, right? Being the one that's early to get to the first things of the day, right? That's a law that's going to be set for a certain amount of time until it doesn't have to be a law for yourself anymore because it's kind of engraved into the way that you move, right? So then you set new laws, you set different ones, right? What kind of laws do you have set for your life, right? Do you even have any laws, right? And if you do, are those laws yours, or are there people that actually came into your life to give you those laws off of expectations or off of things or off of laws that they set for themselves that kind of attach to you, right? Being able to make that differentiation is kind of like definitely like a high mark in life, or like a cheat code in life. It's a skill that we all need to learn and be able to adapt just in our day-to-day. Definitely. Right. But yeah, it's really just kind of like an outsource from the short that I had made based around laws and stuff like that to really tie into how we could really pinpoint the laws that's within our lives and the laws that are all around us on a day-to-day. Wherever we go, everywhere that we go, right? You can kind of see certain laws that are attached to people as they move along, as we have conversations with people, you know what I mean? As we watch people just move around, like we see it, right? And if you don't, it's time to really open your eyes and start to analyze the day, right? Just as you're going about, and you'll start to see it for yourself, right? But yeah, though, guys, until the next one, though, guys, pay attention to that, though, within your own lives and around you, right? What kind of laws do you have set for yourself, right? And actually, first and foremost, do you have laws set for yourself? And if you do, what kind of laws do you have set for yourself, right? And once you do that, you start to understand, were those laws set for you, or were those laws set from people that were an outsource, right? Things that kind of gotten attached to you over time, or just from being around you, right? Being able to make that, being able to understand that it's going to be a gem for you in the long run. So let's continue to set that bar. Let's continue to set that law. Let's continue to have those laws govern our lives to take us places that we would never think that we would get without those laws, right? But until the next one, guys.